Alright, so this video is regarding Nearpod, and it's to do with the basically interactive video function and where all those questions that you pose in that video, where do those answers go? Little struggle for me to find it, but once I found it, obviously things sort of seem to be easy. And so obviously we're in the home page of Nearpod where your lessons are held, and you basically go to reports. And once you're in reports, you go ahead and open up the lesson that you want to look at those reports at. Many reports come up. One thing I don't like about Nearpod is that it's clumping different reports on the same lesson. I wish it all clumped it into one area. Just would make it easier for grading on the other side, but it is what it is. I'm going to open up this report, and you'll see here there's really no information on this report other than names of students. And the reason for that is the only thing I did in this lesson was an interactive video. And so if you look up here over on the right, you can see that this area is not blue, and that's a link. And that's what we struggled to find the other day. So when we click on this link, that opens up the interactive video function of the report, and you can see I have 4 videos here. They all have something called a class board on them, if you open them up that way. And I know that my 3rd video is the only one that I actually have questions in the video. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to open up a new window. And if this screen does not come up, don't panic. Just go down to your blue buttons and you can toggle through the different questions that you asked. And you're basically right now getting sort of a class view of what was answered, if you will. But that really doesn't help in grading each child on how they did with those questions. So over here you have more of a list view. This is the class view. This is the list view. So if you click on the list view right here, it's going to then open up all the students that went to that lesson and watched that video and answered questions. Now taking a look at this first student here, you'll notice that these questions weren't answered, and I can toggle back and forth between the different questions. You can see he did answer this one, but did not answer these, that. Let's see, going back here, looks like he answered. So partially answered some questions, partially didn't answer some questions, but obviously that's where you find the data for Nearpod. Now if you go into Canvas, for example, and you go on assignments, or go into your assignments tab, and you click on your assignment that you have your Nearpod video in Canvas, you're going to go to Speed Grader. And now you're going to have them all in sort of this PDF page view of each student. I don't like this view as much because I have to toggle through each student. But at any rate, you can see here are those interactive videos as well. And this is the 4th video, the 3rd video on the 9th slide, and there's that class board. And when I click on that, it's just going to open up another window anyways and take me right back to the Nearpod slide. So I really don't see a need to go into Canvas to find this, because it's just going to bump you back to Nearpod, and obviously you can get the information you need. A couple other little things I've been kind of playing around with today that you may or may not know. One thing that's kind of cool in this particular lesson, the first lesson I've done this week, is if you click on people, you can see what students have logged in, what time they logged in, and how much time they spent in your class, essentially. More importantly, you can see, for example, Amari Garrett has not logged in and has not come to the class yet. So that's helpful bit of information there. Again, that is in people of your particular class that you're looking at. And then obviously in grades, if you're doing some grading, this is pretty self-explanatory, but when you see these dashes next to a name like this, essentially what that lines up with is they haven't come to your class yet. They haven't poked in the door and taken a look around at this particular lesson. So that's helpful to know. If there's a little, like what looks like a little piece of paper there, then it means they have stuck their head in the door, they have looked in. Now whether they've answered the questions and whether they've gotten the correct answers, you're going to have to go to Nearpod to get that information out. But to my understanding, with those interactive videos, the content, if you will, and the answers is a little bit buried in there. So again, just review. You're going to go into Nearpod. You're going to go into your reports. You're going to choose your lesson. You're going to then find one of the sessions that has students in it. You're going to open that up. If it's an interactive video, go to that video and then figure out which slide you want to go into. Maybe all of them, but for me it was just this third one. And you're going to hit the class board. And voila, you're in where you need to be. Like I said, don't panic if this doesn't come up right away. Just click on any of these blue bubbles down there and it'll get you to this screen. Okay? Hope that's been helpful for you guys, and I will see you on the next video.